A very common retouch done on the eyes is literally to make them larger. The bigger the eyes, the more beautiful eyes. So very, very often we'll use a number of different methods. I'm going to show you actually 2 different methods just to make the eyes look a little bit larger. I don't mean like 40% larger, but maybe 10% larger, because it actually really does make a big difference. If you think about how cartoon characters are drawn, they're always drawn with very, very large eyes. They're very, very appealing to have these big, big eyes. And so you can understand why in retouching it would be so popular to do this. I'm going to show you a really, really simple way first. Let's go, and here's our subject. And what we're going to do is you take the lasso tool, and we'll zoom in around the left eye. Now, we're not going to select just the actual eye itself. We're going to go outside the eye area, very loose. We're getting all the eyelashes and everything else in there, just like that. In fact, I don't know if I need to go quite that close to the hair over there on that side. So I held the Option key on Mac or the Alt key on PC and just removed that area from my selection. Now we're going to press Command J on Mac or Control J on PC to put just that eye up on its own separate layer, just like that. I hid the background layer here so you can see there's the eye all by itself. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to press Command T on Mac or Control T on PC to go to Free Transform. Now, I found that you can generally go about 10% with the size of the eye, no problem, and it still will look pretty good. So up here in the options bar, you actually have a width and a height, and then there's a little icon to link them together, which means whatever you enter in the width will automatically be entered in the height. So if we want to make her eyes 10% bigger, we would type in 110%, and her eye got significantly bigger there. Take a look. I'm going to hit return so you can see it. Lock in the change, and you can see her eye got a bit bigger. But you can also see the skin around there got bigger as well. So what I'll do after I do that little move is add a layer mask, not Option click like we've been doing, just a regular layer mask, because I don't want to hide the eye. I'm just going to paint away the edges. So we're going to just click on the layer mask. It's white, so you know you paint in the opposite color, black. We're going to grab the brush, and we'll choose a nice soft edge brush. So let's go down to harder at the top, and these are softer down here. And we're just going to paint right away the edges, just like that. Look, all you have to do, just a tiny little bit. And that's it. That eye's done, and it's much, much larger. You're going to do the same thing to the other eye. Click on the background layer, get the lasso tool, and we're going to select nice loose selection around the other eye. Press Command J on Mac, Control J on PC to put it up on its own separate layer. There it is. And then we're going to go to Free Transform, do the same thing. Make sure the link button is turned on. Type in 110%. Hit return. And then the other eye is the exact same amount. Of course, you have to add a layer mask, right? So we can hide the edges, and we'll just paint right along the edges there. It just blends them right in with the rest of the image, and you're set. Very, very easy. Now, at this point, if you wanted to, you could merge these 2 layers so they're the same. Just Command E, it merges them, and it's going to ask, hey, the other one has a layer mask. Do you want to apply these and then do it? I usually hit apply. It applies both layer masks, and look at the difference here. So I'm going to zoom out. Now, her eyes look good right here. All right, but that's the after. Look at the before. So you can really see what a difference it made to make those eyes a little bit bigger. That's one way to do it. I'll show you another way. So let's hide those. We'll call that Transform. We're going to rename that layer Transform. Had a little spelling problem there. All right, click on the background layer, and then we're going to choose Liquify. All right, and here is the image. Now, here's what we want to do. We're going to get a tool, actually, it's the 3rd tool down, called Bloat. There's the Bloat tool and the Pucker tool. Pucker tool makes things smaller. So if I wanted to make something smaller on her nose is fine. I'm just saying if we wanted to make her nose smaller, we could use that. We're going to use the Bloat tool. You can just press the letter B to go to it. I'm going to make the brush a little bit larger, and we're just going to click it a couple times over her eye. Let me just get the size down a little bit. And we're just going to click it. And you see how it made her eye bigger? Click it. It makes that whole area just one click, one click, one click, and just make it a little bit bigger. Makes that whole area kind of bigger. The reason why I think I like the other one better is this does kind of make everything almost bulge out a little bit. If you look at the icon itself, it's kind of bloated. It kind of bloats things out, but still doesn't do a bad job. Let's watch. I'm going to click OK, give it a second, and watch the difference. See how everything's bigger? The pupils are bigger, the irises are bigger, the eyes, everything gets a little bit bigger, and it also got a little bit of her eyebrows. If you wanted to make sure that it didn't get the eyebrows, what you could do is this. Let's go back to liquefy. And then you're going to go to the advanced mode of liquefy, because you want to be able to show some more tools, because there's a tool called the freeze tool. We're going to freeze. What that does, when you paint over an area, it locks it down. It won't move. So we're going to freeze her eyebrows. That way, when we use the bloat tool, it will not adjust her eyebrows. Her eyebrows won't move. So we're freezing that area, locking that area. Then go get bloat. Let's make it the brush bigger. We don't have to worry now about about moving her eyebrows. Click it a few times. Whoops, I have pucker. Sorry, wrong one. Pucker is not going to help our situation at all. It's going to go the opposite way. A couple of clicks on each one. Ooh, I went a little too far on that eye on the right. I was kind of looking freaky. Click OK. And let's just look at the before and after here. Notice, look at the eyebrows. Don't move at all. They are locked down because we used that freezing. By the way, if you use the freeze tool and you make a mistake, right below it is the thaw tool, and it will go and you can go back and erase. But look, isn't that, it's pretty slick. So 2 different ways to do it. They do have a slightly different look. I think perhaps the more realistic one is the one that we did at first. This one's probably quicker. The other one's more realistic. Doesn't really matter. You get to choose the one you want, and now you've got 2 different ways to choose.